welcome to this week's reading vlog. It is Halloween week, so we are going to be spending the week reading some spooky season books. I would love to hear what you read this week or even your favorite book that you read in October. I hope you had a very happy Halloween and a great spooky season. I am so glad that you're here. I am completely cozied in for the night. I have plans to just rest and relax here and read. The first book I really want to talk about is Freakslaw by Jane Flett. I am 65 pages into this and I love her writing. I think her writing is beautiful. I'm really enjoying the vibes of this one, but the character list at the beginning of this is 4 pages long. There is a lot to keep up with. The chapters are really short, which I enjoy, but they're like little vignettes. They're scenes that I'm assuming will all come together as part of the larger novel, but I'm just not getting sucked into the larger novel. Even though I'm liking these individual scenes, it's starting to feel very disconnected, and it feels more like I'm picking up a short story collection than a novel, and I'm just not that into it. And it doesn't help that these chapters, these scenes are getting more confusing. And I did go read some reviews, and the reviews are good, and I saw a theme throughout them that this kind of goes off the rails. So I do have a little bit of FOMO because I do want to see what happens, but I'm just not that into it. So I think it's going to be a DNF for now. I have a feeling it's probably a hard DNF, but we'll see. I mean, if I get the desire to pick this back up, I will. But for now, my overall feeling is that this is disjointed and confusing and probably a great read if you have enough focus and desire to stick with it. And I also started reading Lyla Sage's book, Soul Searching. Now, I've never read Lyla Sage before. She's the one who wrote Done and Dusted. The people that I have seen reviews from love Lyla Sage's cowboy romance. I'm curious, but I'm not particularly interested. But this one is a paranormal romance in that the main character, Collins, can at least hear ghosts. I don't know if she can see ghosts, but she can hear ghosts. And she grew up with her twin sister basically in an antique shop. Their parents ran an antique shop when they were little, so it stands to reason if you were around a lot of antiques, you were around a lot of spirits. And when she got old enough, she left their town of Sweetwater, and she is back for a visit, and she is staying with her sister's friend who is also giving her kind of an employment opportunity, and that is who is going to be the love interest. So I'm really enjoying this for the paranormal aspect. It says home is where the heart is, and this one is haunted. So it's just really a lot more up my alley, and I am really enjoying it. I'm already 83 pages into this, so I will probably read this one tonight, and then if I had time this weekend, I'm really hoping to start King Sorrow by Joe Hill. This is Joe Hill's newest release. It is super chunky, so we'll see how that goes. But for now, my plan is to just stay right here and have a nice, relaxing night of just reading and resting. So as I get more into soul searching, I will give you an update on how this one continues to go. I want to do an update while I am just over the halfway point. I am about 200 pages into this, and I am absolutely loving this. I'm loving the characters and the ghosts, the scenarios, the relationships. I'm enjoying the plot. Everything about this is just really working for me so far. I did download the audiobook off of Audible and I have set up a puzzle. So I'm going to finish listening to this on audio while I work this puzzle. I'm working this one called Little Mermaid, and it's a tough puzzle, but I am really excited to be in a book that I am loving, and I don't know if I'll pop back in before the end or if I'll give you my final thoughts, but I will definitely let you know how this one winds up. Good morning. I finished reading Soul Searching last night and I really enjoyed this. I'm going to give this 5 stars. I thought it was a really great romance and I loved the paranormal side of this. If you have read her cowboy romance, there is cattle and horses and things in the note from the author. I think what she was going for was a Western ghost story. This didn't feel Western to me, but it did feel very authentic. And I think not just the Wyoming setting, but the love of horror, it seemed very authentic. And so I'm excited to see where she's going to go with this series and what she might write in the future. I think I may read her cowboy romance just because I enjoyed this so much. I liked her writing and her characters, and so Lyla Sage may be another new favorite author for me. And I would normally post my vlog today, but I think I'm gonna skip uploading so that I can read King Sorrow. I'm definitely not gonna finish this Chunky Monkey today, but I do want to get started and read it, so I may just put off uploading this vlog until I have finished reading this. I think for this morning I'm going to watch a bunch of Booktube and just be lazy, and then I'll get started on this. I'm not even sure what this is about. I think that, yes, there's something to do with dragons. I'm assuming it's going to be horror. Maybe it's a horror fantasy. I'm not sure. But I enjoy Joe Hill. Nosferatu is one of my favorite books. So we will get into this one in a bit. For now, I'm just going to be lazy this morning and I will hop back in once I know a little bit more about how this one starts. I am 155 pages into King Sorrow. I'm really excited about my progress because this book is 900 pages. I am going to keep reading this tonight, but I think my husband and I are about to also watch some shows and maybe a movie, so I wanted to give you an update while I could. My initial reaction to King Sorrow is very much like the initial reaction I had when reading Nosferatu. This is very reminiscent of Stephen King. In fact, I have to keep reminding myself that I'm not reading Stephen King. I have read other Joe Hill books. I've read Heart-Shaped Box, The Fireman, and Horns, and they were okay. I think my favorite out of those was probably Heart-Shaped Box and then The Fireman and then Horns, but never while I was reading those did I think I was reading a Stephen King novel. And this one is very much written like King, and I am really loving it. It's actually putting me in the mood to go reread Stephen King. I don't read a lot of Stephen King these days, and every time that I do, I get in the mood to revisit old favorites. And I know this is Joe Hill, but it is putting me right back in that frame of mind. I have fallen into the rabbit hole this year of the telepathy tapes, and there's a storyline in here that goes along very well with the telepathy tapes, and I'm just having a really good time with this so far. It definitely is horror. I don't get the impression that it's horror fantasy. There is a dragon, but it's more of like a called forth magical demon type of situation than an actual dragon. I have found a lot of scenes in here so far already to be creepy, and I'm just having an amazing time. This year has been such a great reading year. I can't get over it. I know we are about at the end of the year, and I'm panicking because there are so many books that I still need to read, but I really am having the best reading year. And I'm excited to be reading this. I'm enjoying it, and I will probably give you another update tomorrow. Good evening. It is Monday evening after work, and I wanted to give you a quick update on King Sorrow because I did make it through book one last night. I'm a little bit past book one. I'm 275 pages in, and even though this book is 900 pages long, I think it's going to be one of those where it's so epic and I have such a great time reading it that I'm going to be sad when it's over. I still cannot believe that this was not written by Stephen King. There are so many things that remind me of King while I'm reading this. But this is definitely Joe Hill, and I'm loving how imaginative this is and how creepy some of the scenes are. So I'm definitely back to being really excited about what Joe Hill may do in the future, because I mentioned those books that were just okay for me, but this reminds me so much of Nosferatu, and I'm having such a great time. I'm going to hopefully read this some more tonight. We have a lot going on tonight and this week because it is Halloween week. I'm hoping that I will have this vlog out by Halloween, but we'll see how it goes. We'll see what I'm able to get done, and I will keep you updated with how far I get tonight. Come on, girlie. Come on, girlie. Come here. Goofy. It is now Thursday afternoon. I am home from work early, and I really need to give you an update before I read any more of King Sorrow. I am 418 pages in, so that is a little under halfway through. And I am off of work for the rest of the afternoon, and tomorrow is Halloween, and I took the day off tomorrow. So I'm hoping to get a lot of this read. I did download it on Audible, so I'm probably going to put on my headphones and get some things done around the house. So I definitely wanted to give an update before I get busy and forget to pop in. I am still enjoying this. Feel like at this point that I am kind of on a wild ride, and I'm not sure where it's going to take us, but I'm still having a really good time. And I will give you an update maybe tonight and see how far we get. Happy Halloween. I am 600 pages into King Sorrow. I have finished book three. I'm about to start book four, so I thought this would be a great place to stop and update. I do have some thoughts about the real life horrors in here, and I don't mean people versus supernatural. I mean like the Timothy McVeighs and the Osama bin Ladens. At first, I found these to be jarring, particularly the Timothy McVeigh, Oklahoma City. And I think for me personally, I had family at the time that was living in Oklahoma City. I think my grandfather worked in the building across the street. So there were like almost 200 people that were killed that day. So there could be a lot of unsuspecting people getting hit upside the head. And I'm not trying to debate triggers in reading, but I am feeling like the amount of real life horrors being used here, there may be a feeling that using real life horror makes a story feel more true to life, but for me, it does the exact opposite. It completely plucks me out of the story, and I find myself thinking about what happened in those real life times and not what Joe Hill is trying to convey in his story. And there are some things in the horror genre that can be considered cheap or lazy writing. And the amount that we're seeing these real life villains, and the only imaginative, creative villain in this book is King Sorrow. And if we're not seeing a whole lot of King Sorrow, this book is starting to feel less imaginative to me. And this is just my personal perspective and my reading experience. I feel like it will be different for other people. Your mileage may vary on this, but I'm still enjoying the ride and I'm still excited to have this side of Joe Hill back that I had in Nosferatu. But there are things about this story that just isn't working as well for me. And I feel myself starting to enjoy this less and less. And I also feel like there is so much room in a 900-page book for there to be creative villains, creative stories, creative things that are happening in the world. And I'm not saying that he's not writing unique scenarios. I just feel like there's more room for creativity than possibly leaning so much into making it sound like King Sorrow is something that is in this real world, especially if there's going to be ties to the fantasy side of this. I'm having trouble grappling with fantasy and imagination and not being pulled completely out by having my mind go to what was really going on in those time periods. So, again, it's probably just personal experience here, but I did want to mention it because it is it is affecting my experience here. I have some people coming over tonight and it's Halloween and I may actually have a friend come watch horror movies all day tomorrow. So I don't know if I'll make it through these last 300 pages tonight, but I'm going to again put on my headphones, get some things done around here. I just wanted to pop in with those thoughts before I headed through on the rest of the story. I finished reading King Sorrow, and one thing I did want to mention is the real life horrors in this do give you a time frame for when the events are occurring, and also a timeline of how much this story spans, how epic it is in its scope, but at the same time, it's still absolutely brought me out of the story. And another thing that brought me out of the story were the Stephen King references. It got to the point where they felt like they were really low hanging fruit. And I even wonder if putting King in the title is also some low hanging fruit. So, how did I feel about these last 300 pages? They did not work for me. I did not enjoy the characters, and I had absolutely no one to root for except for King Sorrow. Like, I actually hoped he would come through and annihilate everyone so I could finish reading this. That's a terrible thing to say, but I am going to land on 2 stars for this, which shows you never know how a book is going to wind up for you. I honestly thought when I started reading this that it was going to be a 5 star. And I made peace with the fact that it was going to land on a 4. And then I was shocked that I felt like it was a 3. So landing on a 2, I'm just feeling very disappointed and also leery. This may actually be my last Joe Hill, which is crazy because I was so excited when I picked this up. The beginning of this was so epic. And there are going to be people who genuinely enjoy this book because it is very epic in scope. But for me personally, it just didn't work for me. Unfortunately, I'm going to be giving this a 2. If you have read this or if you plan to read this, please let me know. I would love to hear from you. Even though I was disappointed by this and Freakslaw, I lost my copy of Freakslaw. I have no idea where I put it. My friend Lori, I was reading this as a buddy read with my bestie Lori on the Horror Spotlight Discord, and she finished reading this and she said that it never got better. It stayed disjointed, and that if I wasn't enjoying it by the first 25%, to not bother finishing it. So thank you, Lori. I am going to keep this one as a DNF. But even though I was disappointed by that one and King Sorrow, I still feel like this was a very successful reading vlog because I got to read 3 of my 2025 new releases that are part of my TBR countdown, and I did find a 5-star read with Soul Searching, so it was still a really good week. And if you made it this far, thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. Please leave me a ghost emoji if you don't have anything else to say, but I would love to hear what you read in October. What was your favorite spooky season book? And if you didn't read anything spooky, what did you read? Let me know. Be sure to like and subscribe while you're down there, and I will talk to you soon.